All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Gary Strydom. Now, he is possibly the best bodybuilder to leave the IFBB after being successful in the IFBB. Now, usually bodybuilders leave the IFBB because they feel like politics kept them from being successful. But Gary Strydom was actually very successful in the IFBB, and he still chose to leave. So we're going to be talking about his story a little bit in this video. So some of the placings that he had in the IFBB was 5th place at the 1988 Mr. Olympia, 3rd place at the 1989 Arnold Classic. He won a handful of IFBB Grand Prix in various countries, a lot of top 2s, a lot of top 3s. He really didn't place outside of the top 5 in any IFBB shows to my knowledge. He won the Night of Champions a couple times, I believe. But the reason he left was because Vince McMahon, this is actually a little known fact, began his own bodybuilding organization that he intended to rival the IFBB. Vince McMahon of WWE started an organization called the WBF, the World Bodybuilding Federation, and he had a show that was supposed to rival the Mr. Olympia, and it was called the WBF Championships. And Gary Strydom won these championships 2 years in a row in 1991 and 1992. So he left the IFBB because Vince McMahon offered him probably one of the best contracts ever offered to a bodybuilder in the 90s. This was just unheard of money. So when he started this WBF, he offered Gary Strydom between $350,000 and $400,000 per year in Gary Strydom's contract. And this was in the early 1990s. Back then, that was like $1 million, and that was hitting it rich. Like $350,000 to $400,000 in the early 90s. That was a crazy amount of money for a bodybuilder. And all his other like second tier bodybuilders, he offered their 2-year contracts starting at $200,000 per year, which is extremely high. The IFBB, this was different from the IFBB because the IFBB itself didn't offer its bodybuilders contracts. They just had to win prize money and get supplement sponsors and that sort of thing. So Vince McMahon was handsomely paying his bodybuilders, especially Gary Strydom, and that's mostly why Gary Strydom left. Now, had Gary Strydom stayed in the IFBB, who knows how successful he would have been, because he did return to the IFBB after Vince McMahon's organization failed. He returned to the 1996 Night of Champions. So that was 4 years after the last WBF competition, and he got 12th place. Then in 2006, he competed again, which is 10 years later, and he got 7th place at the Colorado Pro. So he was really starting to decline after he came back. So he didn't do very well once he came back. But at the time when he left, I believe he was one of the best bodybuilders competing in the IFBB that left the IFBB to go pursue, a different career in bodybuilding. So I thought this was a very extremely unique situation. It's kind of interesting too, relating it to today, because Vince McMahon's first WBF event took place at Donald Trump's Taj Mahal Hotel in Atlantic City. So that was pretty cool, and it's kind of interesting because Donald Trump is our president. So it's kind of an interesting thing to talk about, one of the first rival bodybuilding competitions to the IFBB taking place in one of Donald Trump's hotels. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But if you just look at Gary Strydom's conditioning, the roundness of his muscle bellies, I mean, look at his delts, man. They are absolutely just incredible. His conditioning, his pecs, he was just the complete package, man. And I think he was one of the best bodybuilders to ever leave the IFBB because he was offered more money to pursue bodybuilding somewhere else. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you've never heard of the the WBF, if you never knew that Vince McMahon actually had his own bodybuilding organization in conjunction with the WWE. So that's it for the video, guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.